A firm's individual supply curve represents the minimum possible cost of producing each unit of a good or service. The supply curve tells us how much firms will produce given the price that they earn, because it tells us how many units they can produce for less than that price. Here's an example of several firms, all of whom face different marginal costs. These firms might have different opportunity costs, which is why their marginal costs differ. Nevertheless, this table represents the absolute lowest cost to produce each unit for each firm. Firm A, for example, could produce the first unit for as little as $1. If they want to produce a second one, the best they can do is $2. That means if they produce 2 units, their total variable cost would be $3. $1 for the first unit and $2 for the second. I've put some of these numbers in red to show that if they can only produce that quantity, they'll end up being unprofitable and will shut down. So firm A needs to see a price of $3 or higher to even be willing to enter this industry and start producing. So long as the price is greater than or equal to their marginal cost, they will be incentivized to produce that many units. Let's take a look. If producers were paid $1 per unit, then no firms would be willing to produce. Firm A and Firm C have marginal costs low enough, but there must be some fixed costs that mean overall they wouldn't be profitable. Okay, what if they earn $2 per unit? Well, now Firm B and C are jumping in. $2 is enough to make it worthwhile for Firm B to produce 1 unit, while Firm C is happy to produce 3 units. Notice their marginal cost is $2 for both the second and third units. If they earn $2 per unit, they will say yes to both of them. Overall, the market is producing 4 units. If the price rises to $3, Firm A jumps in and Firms B and C increase production, delivering 10 units total. At $4, all firms are in production, and the total quantity supplied rises to 16 units. Notice now that when the price rises to $5, each firm now says yes to 1 more unit. At $4, these additional units were too expensive, and the firms would lose money if they produced them. But now that they get paid $5 per unit, they will want to produce anything that costs $5 or less. Remember, these costs include implicit costs, so it includes what we need to get paid to make us willing to do it at all. At $6, the market quantity supplied increases to 22. And if we keep raising the price, we will see larger and larger quantities produced by all firms in the market. And this is just an example with 4 firms. In the real world, there are industries with thousands of firms, all competing. We can take that table showing the relationship between the price and the quantity supplied and put it on a graph. It has some kinks, but it looks a lot like a supply curve, and that's because it is one. As the price of something rises, more firms can profitably produce it. The price is their reward for production. The bigger the reward, the more firms will jump into the fray. And as the price of something rises, firms producing that product will be incentivized to increase production. A higher price means firms can afford to pay overtime, to pay a little more to get more inputs, and to expand production. Taken together, we get the law of supply. The law of supply is that when the price of a good increases, the quantity supplied also increases. That means the supply curve is upward sloping, showing the positive relationship between the price and the quantity supplied.